Yo, what is going on, you guys? Bashtian here, and I want to go ahead and bring you guys some test hands for the Traptrix structure deck that just came out a few days ago. So I recently just uploaded my deck profile for the deck. I recently also uploaded my opening for the decks, and now we're going to be doing some test hands for the deck. Now, this is just the three structure decks all put together. Well, not all put together, but just making sure that we are using the best cards, of course, the best build. So as far as this goes, this is really just to show how highly competitive the structure decks are just by themselves. Like I said before in the previous profile, the previous video, I should say that when it comes to the overall viability of the structure decks alone, I mean, you have the main deck, extra deck, and the side deck all just built ready for you. So there's really not much else you need to add. The only thing that I have added to the side deck, and I'll show you guys right now. So the only thing that I have added to the side deck that did not come in the structure deck, this came in the structure deck, was 3 Solemn Judgments, just because I would prefer to not have to play around the pesky cards that are currently being played against Labyrinth, which is the one drawback that I do see for this deck, is that unfortunately currently in the format, Labyrinth is still one of the better competitive options for it, which means naturally a lot of outs are trying to be played against Labyrinth, and Labyrinth outs are very similarly impact the Traptrix routes, so Traptrix deck. So it is something to take into consideration. I will say Traptrix does play around the whole thing a lot better. So that is something to take note of, is that this deck obviously has a little bit more, well, at least in my opinion, it has a really good versatility, fantastic grind game. It's kind of like a snowball type effect. It can rebuild the exact same board over and over if it needs to, and just continue expanding on it, and it can actually OTK out of nowhere. So without further ado, guys, go ahead and get right into the test hands. So this video is going to be going up raw, which means little to no editing, which that is something that I wanted to go ahead and do, just to go ahead and show that obviously not each and every single hand is going to be the optimal best, but I want to make sure this is uncut. This is actually what you guys are going to be seeing if you guys are going to be playing this deck. So here we are with our hand. This is not the not the best hand of all time. So with this, let's see, what can we end up doing here? Okay, so it's not the worst hand though. So what we could do is we could normal summon the Traptrix Vesicolo, right? And then go ahead and immediately link summon into a, and sorry if it's not like the most of the field being shown. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, so the only thing you can't see is the extra deck, but I promise, guys, it's right here. So we're gonna normal summon the Vesicolo and then immediately link her off into a copy of Traptrix Sarah. So Traptrix Sarah is a phenomenal card, and definitely a 3 of in any way that you guys are going to be playing Traptrix. So basically, if Traptrix monster activates its effect, you have to go ahead and set a normal trap from your deck, a normal hole trap, I should say. And if you activate a normal trap effect, you get to go ahead and special summon a Traptrix from your deck. So immediately, really good. So we're gonna go ahead and activate the Traptrix, our Arachnocampa. So if we control another Traptrix card, we get to go ahead and special summon her. So that's going to be nice. Special summon her right over here. Now, because we activated a Traptrix monster effect, we can activate Sarah. And Sarah, I'll go ahead and show you guys right here what it says. So if a normal card is activated, you can special summon, it's the bottom one. If your other Traptrix monster effect is activated, you can set a whole normal trap directly from your deck. So that's exactly what we are going to do. So we're going to activate Traptrix Sarah effect. So this is going to be our hand, just so you guys are aware of what we're trying to do. So what we're trying to do is we are trying to extend it with this as much as possible, right? So we're going to get Holotea. So we have 2 floodgate trap holes, so there's really no need. We can realistically just go ahead and put both of them on the field regardless at the very end of the combo, at the very end of our combo anyway, but it's in the event we can't, we're not losing out on too much, right? So then we're going to go ahead and set the Holotea and then activate the Holotea effect. to be able to discard the Floodgate Trap Hole and activate it on the same turn that it was set. That is one of the best features about this card, is you can activate this exact same turn. There we go. We're going to go ahead and get out Holotea. So, with this being said, this is going to be your 4th summon. So, you are going to want to look out for the Nibiru, right? That's the one thing that we have to go ahead and play around. So, you can go at this one of 2 ways. You can go ahead and play a little bit more risky, activate Sarah, because we did activate a trap card this turn, or in response to, right? Sarah would then go ahead and get us our... let's see, what's that card called again? Yeah, this one. Traptrix Dionia. So when she is special summoned, right, which is exactly what we're going to be doing, you can activate her effect, target the Floodgate Trap Hole, and set it back to your field. So immediately you are given that opportunity to have another form of interruption. Now, like I said before, we already have a Floodgate Trap Hole in our hand, so I'm not going to go this route because this puts us right into the Nib crosshairs. Instead, I'm not going to activate Sarah effect, and in that instance, I'm just going to overlay these two into a Traptrix Rafflesia. And if they nib here, you can activate Rafflesia. I would detach the Holotea, because then you can go ahead and activate the Graveyard effect and activate. So if they do activate Nibiru, you activate Rafflesia, detach Holotea, and then you send your Gravedigger's Trap Hole, right? Which says when your opponent activates a monster effect in their hand or in their graveyard, when your opponent's card is banished by monster effect is activated, negate its effect, and if you do, inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent. So what it's going to do is it's going to negate the nib and inflict him for 2,000 damage, which comes up super clutch, especially in any type of time rules. So essentially what your board is going to end up at, and if we don't get nibbed, it's going to be a 2,500 defense for Rafflesia, and then followed up by a Floodgate Trap Hole, and then we have Regeki for the next turn, so we can just go ahead and Regeki their board and go on about our day, right? So normally, how you're going to be interacting with this is whatever you're going up against, whether if it's Cast Hero and they summon Unicorn or Fenrir, you immediately go ahead and flip the Floodgate Trap Hole. So when your opponent summons a monster, change that to face down defense position and cannot change their battle positions, right? So this shuts off their engine as far as being able to continue special summon, because they can't activate Cashier Theosis, they can't special summon their Fenrir if they have already a monster on board. So it messes with the deck quite a bit. And then you activate Sarah effect, in which case you can go ahead and go clean off from there. Sarah, if you want, you have 2 cards essentially that you can go ahead and special summon off Sarah to go ahead and gain interaction. One is Pudica. So Traptrix Pudica not only searches your field spell, which I know is the big thing initially when you read this card, but also if it's special summon, you can target one special summon monster your opponent controls and banish it. Also, during the next standby phase, your opponent can special summon one of their banished monsters, which is a bit of a risky play, but in the event that you want to go ahead and get rid of something, especially something that has materials, this is a great way to go ahead and get around it. So you can go ahead and summon her out off of the Sarah, or you can go ahead and summon out another of the, where's that card? Oh no. Yes, Dionea. So you go ahead and set back the card that you just activated, whether it's Floodgate Trap Hole or any other trap. And then you have, of course, the Rafflesia effect, which if you go ahead and you activate Sarah effect to set another whole card, and then you're good to go from there. So that's probably the most basic combo that we're going to be doing in this video. Let's go ahead. I'll do a few more test hands, of course. That was just one. Sorry if it feels like it was a bit longer than than expected, but I want to make sure that you guys understand at least my thought process. Now, I'm not a professional with this deck. I mean, I literally just started playing this deck, maybe, a day ago, 2 days ago? Well, realistically, testing online about a week and a half, but having the physical cards in hand is a little different. So we're going to do Final Cut. And then we're going to draw our hand. So we got 1, Arachnocampa, Tune, Floodgates, and Terrifying. Wonderful. So honestly, so far I'm not the biggest fan of Tune. But it's a card that's given to us. It does help with consistency, so it should be fine. Anyway, so what I want to go ahead and do here is see what would be the best course of action, right? So the main thing you want to go ahead and do is bait the Ash. So I would go ahead and immediately activate Trap Tantalizing Tune. And I'll go ahead and send off the Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare. Just because I think Floodgate Trap Hole is just a lot better in this current format. Whether you're going against Sword Soul, you hit their Moye, and they can't do anything about it, things like that. If you're going up against Cash Tira, which is going to be the most highly represented deck, at least in my locals, this hurts it as well. So anyway, you can discard low for insect or plant monster or one normal trap card that's cost, and you draw 2 cards. We're gonna draw. Nice. Okay, perfect. So this time we actually have a really good play. So what we're gonna do is normal summon Pudica, activate Pudica effect. I'm gonna leave my hand right here. And then Pudica is going to add Traptrix Garden. So Traptrix Garden is going to allow us to get an additional normal summon this turn. So we're going to go ahead and put this right here. But I do not believe we're going to be using that right now, or at least we'll see. So we're going to link off the Pudica, go into a Sarah. And then we're going to activate our Arachnocampa effect, special summon Arachnocampa. Then activate Sarah effect, and then similar to last time, right? Let's see, and this is why I say I'm not the biggest fan of it, of the tune, only because it's not the best trade-off, especially if it gets Ash, because you're losing 2 cards compared to their 1, in which case that's a win interaction for the opponent every single time, essentially. So next we're gonna go ahead and activate our Holotea. Special summon it by discarding our, let's go ahead and discard this one, the Traptrix Nighthole Nightmare. Is that the same one that no, it is not. So we have 4 cards in the grave. Holotea, activate Sarah effect. Sarah is going to go ahead and get us something, a Dionea effect. We're going to go ahead and set our Traptrix Nighthole Nightmare. There we go. Beautiful. So this is just we're not playing around nib this time. We're just gonna go ahead and go all out. Let's see how far we can go ahead and take this. So we're gonna go ahead and overlay these 2. We're actually gonna go into Pinguilica, right? So Pinguilica, what allows us to do is we can go ahead and detach a material from this card and go ahead and add us a Traptrix monster, right? So add a Traptrix monster for redact your hand. Gotcha. So awesome. So we're going to activate Pinguilica effect, getting rid of the Traptrix Holotea. We're going to go ahead and search for our copy of, yeah, we'll go with Sickolo. It's not the best card ever, but it's okay. It does all right. So you have 2,500 beater as well, so that's really nice. And then we're going to activate Vesicolo effect to special summon herself by sending our Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare. So Vesicolo is then going to be able to get special summoned as well, which is nice. Then we're going to actually overlay these 2 into a Rafflesia. Okay, so now it gives us a little bit more board presence as well. Realistically, all of our trap hole cards can be activated from the deck using the Rafflesia, but in an event that gets negated, it does leave us in a bit of a pickle. But with Traptrix Holotea, you can actually banish this card from your graveyard and then target a Traptrix monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Which is going to be coming in clutch. So what we're going to be doing is, this is another form of interruption that you have. So you can banish Holotea to special summon the Pudica. And like I said, Pudica has a really good effect where you can just go ahead and banish a monster your opponent controls. So that's going to be coming up super clutch. We have one form of interruption. Then we have a second one with the Floodgate Trap Hole. We still have this in hand in case that we want to go ahead and get either something we can go ahead and discard for whatever the reason might be. Let's go ahead and see what we would draw next turn. Okay, Vermilio, so this is not something that we want to go ahead and discard, but at least we have that option for us as well. So we have a form of interruption here. More ways to go ahead and get more traps and more board presence with Sarah, and then the Pinguilica is just a 2,500 beater at the moment, but really good as well. So we'll do one more, guys. I just don't want this to be too long a video, but I hope you guys are understanding at least my thought process behind everything. So let me know what you guys think about these type of videos. I actually do not think I've done a full test hand like this before, where I actually, just let the footage go raw and, kind of just go about my thought process and how I would go ahead and play each hand and, so on and so forth. Now, if the tantalizing whatever tune does get ashed in that instance, then your board would still be the Traptrix Nightmare Hole, the first one I had in hand, a Floodgate Trap Hole, and a Sarah, in which case you still have a good amount of interruption there as well, because Sarah is just such a broken card, to be perfectly honest with you. I think that one deserves to be the like a secret rare in the structure deck, because that card is absolutely nuts. Anyway, so we got the Floodgate Trap Hole, Holotea, Traptalizing Tune, Floodgate Trap Hole, and a Mantis. Whoa, okay, so we got a lot of gas here. At least is what it looks like right off the bat. Let's go ahead and see what we have. Okay, so again, we're gonna start off. We're gonna bait the ash. We have 2 Floodgate Trap Holes. Activate the Traptalizing Tune. Discard the Floodgate Trap Hole and draw 2 cards. Wow. Okay, that's awesome. All right. So how do we want to go about this? Unfortunately, we can't get the field spell out because I would very, very much like to go ahead and normal summon these 2. That'd be the nicest course of action, unfortunately. But it's all good. It's all good, guys. How do we want to go ahead and play this? I think the best course of action would be to normal summon Mantis, activate Mantis effect, to add a Traptrix monster. So we're gonna go ahead and add ourselves a Arachnocampa, right? Get us an extender. We already have Holotea as an extender, so we don't need to search that. So we are good to go. Plus, I do not like summoning Marmilio first, just because then my opponent's gonna know exactly what trap card I have face down, and it kind of takes away a lot of the surprise factor when your opponent already knows, So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get rid of the Mantis, go into a Sarah, right? So pretty standard as far as that goes. You're always going to go into Sarah first, just pretty obvious as far as that's concerned. I mean, sets trap cards from your deck, special summons. I mean, the card's absolutely busted. Let's just be real here. But then we're going to go ahead and, let's see. Let's see, do I want to do that? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and special summon the Arachnocampa, activate Sarah effect to go ahead and get a trap card. So which one don't I have? I have Floodgate and I have Holotea. So I would say let's go ahead and get the Traptrix, Trap Hole Nightmare, right? So like I said, our opponent is already going to know, but we don't need to search out a Holotea because, again, we already have one in our hand. This is summon number 3. Let's go ahead and go Holotea. I'm going to, let's see, I'll pitch the Holotea to activate Holotea. So we're going to get Sarah's effect. Sarah's effect is then going to go ahead and activate. And that is going to get us special summon a Dionea. So again, the deck is really, really consistent, as you can see, guys. We're pretty much putting up a very, very similar, if not same boards constantly, which is absolutely insane. So after that, let's see, what else can we do? Traptrix, Trap Hole Nightmare. Okay, Mantis. Okay, so we're gonna overlay these 2. Go into a Rafflesia. Okay. And then we are going to, let's see, actually, I want to go ahead and activate the Holotea in the grave. So let's see, you can only use 1 effect per turn. Okay, never mind. So we can't do that. Look at me about to cheat. So if it was not once per turn, of course, unfortunately, or a hard once per turn as far as the effects, it is, right? Let me just double check. Let me just double check. You can only use one Traptrix Holotea effect per turn and only once that turn. Okay, yeah, so very, very hard once per turn. So what I would have wanted to do is special summon the Holotea and go into a double Rafflesia. Because then Rafflesia is once per turn, but it's a soft once per turn, so it's once per turn per card, right? So next turn we are set up very, very beautifully. We can go ahead and normal summon the Remelio to search any trap card we want. We already have Interruption with the Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare, the Floodgate Trap Hole. We have Sarah to go ahead and set us more cards, special summon more cards from the deck as well. So next turn we would be drawing into a Traptalizing Tune. And we're pretty much safe to go off from there as well. Now, there's only so much you guys are going to be able to get from a test hand video. There's a lot that goes into playing this deck when it comes to just the overall interactions that you guys are going to be having in an actual duel. So I highly recommend this deck for any type of beginner. It is a pretty straightforward deck. It's a pretty easy deck to understand and to learn for the very first time, but it's one of those decks that it is going to take a lot of skill as far as understanding what to activate, what to search, what's the best trap or hole card to go ahead and get from your deck, how to sequence things, how to bait out negations, things like that. So I think that's the only thing that I would take into consideration. It is an easy deck to learn initially, but I think it's a tough deck to master. I mean, like I said, I barely just scraped the surface of what it takes to go ahead and play this deck. Pretty much making 3 of the exact same boards, which is can play around, like I said, a lot. Because even those boards, if they get Harpy's Feather Duster or they get Lightning Storm, whatever it might be, it still has a lot of potential to go ahead and play through it. Whether it's through your traps or monsters, they pretty much fuel each other, which I think is really good. I think that this card is actually super busted, just being able to activate during your turn, the same turn you set it, which makes it absolutely ridiculous to be able to go ahead and have this in combination with Sarah. And Sarah, man, if I actually don't know what's the highest rarity that this comes in, but I'm gonna go ahead, like I said, I'm gonna test this out, see if I like it. Honestly, I really do. I've been having a lot of fun with the deck, man, but let's see. Yeah, but if I end up liking this deck a little bit more than what I'm expecting to, I don't know. I might want to go ahead and max it out. We'll see. I might be digging my own grave just saying that, but we'll see. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for the test hand video. Like I said, I don't want to make it too long. If you guys want to see a test hand video of this deck and a deck profile with this deck properly built after you actually upgrade it and invest in it, things like that, definitely let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll go ahead and see what I can do for you guys. Of course, cards like Parallel Exceed will go in here. Some different trap cards like Imperm would be huge to go ahead and play in this deck as well. So just normal things like that, guys. But let me know again what you guys want to see in the comment section down below, and I'll go ahead and bring it out for you guys as soon as possible. But if you guys have stayed this long, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you smash that the like button. That's what happens when you get raw footage. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe for more, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one.